Hi there, Jane from Aplos here. Just wanted to quickly go over a few setup items that'll be helpful to get taken care of so that you can start using Aplos. The first will be entering your church's information. So you'll do that from this gear icon here. Just a note about this, these are settings which are only available to admin users. So if you're not an admin user, you won't see this. So all you admins, go ahead and click that button and then click org info. This is going to allow you to update your org's info to include a tax ID number, phone number, all of that, and upload a logo. So first, updating org info, you'll click this, add in your address, your EIN, set your fiscal year start. You'll do that here. Why this is helpful is this information does generate on reports, like a contribution statement will include your address and EIN. So when you're ready to give those out to your donors, that'll all be done already, so it'll populate for you perfectly. Another thing is with logos, which I'll get to in just a second, those are, once that is uploaded, will show on your reports and then also on your dashboard. So go ahead and complete this org information and then click update here, and that'll all save for you. Clicking upload new logo is super easy. Just click the button, choose your logo on your computer, and then click upload. And that'll save that logo for you. Communication settings is a section that you will just want to be sure that you have the right email addresses listed. That way, any alerts that we need to send via email or billing notifications will go to the right person. So you can always update these at any point. And just as a side note, you do not have to be an Aplos user in order to be on the communication settings. So now that you're done with that, you can look at the next step that we've got for you, which is importing contacts. So you'll click the People tab, click Contact List. I have a lot of contacts here, but yours will probably be empty, so you'll want to fill that up. Go ahead and click that down arrow and click Import Contacts. This is going to take you to a page where you can download a template to populate and bring in a list of those contacts. So those might be members, donors, vendors. It's just a quick way to mass import a bunch of contacts. So when you are first importing a list of contacts, you won't need this contact ID column. Basically what it is it is a way for you to update existing contacts in Aplos. So each contact has its own unique contact ID, and if you ever need to update information for contacts, you can always do that by including their Aplos contact ID here. But if you're importing a new list, you can just delete this column altogether, which I'll do now. So go ahead and populate the information on this template. This will be whether the contact is an individual or a company. You'll be able to do multiple phone numbers, multiple email addresses, multiple addresses, and then assign whether they're an accounting contact if they're just a vendor, or a donor management contact if they are a donor or a member. So you'll go ahead and get all of your contacts on here. Then when you're ready to import, you'll choose that file. The next step will take you to a step where you'll map out those columns. And we've given you a resource that goes into all of this in greater detail. So go ahead and check that out. It includes a video that walks you through everything. So that'll help get you on your way. So now you can look at creating a budget. You'll click Fund Accounting, click Accounts. Oh, first, sorry, let me show you starting balances. Okay, changing pages here. So starting balances, you'll stay in Fund Accounting, again, Accounts and Starting Balances. This is going to allow you to set a balance for each asset and liability account and split those balances out by fund. So you'll see here I have a total starting balance of $10,000 in my checking, but that is split between an $8,000 general fund balance, $1,000 building fund balance, and $1,000 mission fund balance. So you can do that for each of your asset and liability accounts. Make sure that your total is the actual starting balance. And then checking out a balance sheet, you're going to see that here's my starting balance, my balance for my asset account, and how that's split between my equity accounts. So that not only gives the starting balance for the asset in its entirety, but also splits it out to give the balance for the funds too. So that's an easy way to do that. You can edit these starting balances as long as they are unreconciled. So at the point that you do include them in a reconciliation, the reconciliation process is going to lock them down. So go ahead and set those, edit them as needed, and then you'll have a balance to pull from for any register accounts, any asset liability accounts by fund. So that's your starting balances page. Super simple. Okay, now let's go into the budget. So stay in your fund accounting tab, stay in accounts, and click budgeting. Adding a budget is going to allow you to set a projection, set goals for your year, for your fiscal year. So if I add a 2018 budget, it's going to give me the option to add an amount for any of my income and expense accounts. So a couple of things here. Your first year, you won't have any actuals. Those will generate on your second year. So when you do your following year's budget, you'll have some actuals to go off of. You also have the option to show a monthly breakdown. So if I were to put in, let me take this out really quick. If I were to put in a projection of $5,000 of income, this is going to split this evenly throughout 12 months. But let's say, for example, you have an income account for, let's say, a youth camp. Let's say your youth go to camp in the summer, and maybe you're going to get deposits in January, but then probably nothing February, March, and then maybe in April, May, June, things might kick up again and then kind of slow down in the latter months of the year. So if it shouldn't be split evenly, you can change these so that your total is still going to be 5,000, but your split throughout the months might be different. So that's an option just to keep in mind. So you'll set your budget. Now you can use budget reports as you record transactions. Those will populate budget to actual, so it'll have your projection and then tell you how you're doing throughout the year. Next is just a little something about online donation forms. Online donation forms are helpful to get donors or members set up on a recurring gift, recurring donation. So that way you might have a donor who wants to give every month or give weekly. So there's an option to do that online. That's just helpful to keep giving a little bit more consistent. And then everything that is given online through Aplos is automatically recorded in Aplos. So makes your recording process a little bit easier as well. So you can build an online donation form and share it. You can gather information for the donor. These fields are the minimum that they can be included. So first name, last name, email address, but you can also gather more information upon filling out a form like an address, something along those lines. You can have some designated amounts that they can click or a custom amount, have a recurring or one-time option, select monthly or weekly for their schedule, and then choose a purpose, which is how donations are tracked in Aplos. The next page will be whether they give from a credit card or a bank account. And then once that's set up, it'll start pulling on a recurring basis. Again, there is an option for one time. So if they just want to do one time, that's an option too. So these are just helpful to keep giving a little bit more consistent. You can share them online. You can put them on your website, that sort of thing. Speaking of a website, if you don't already have one, we have a builder that you can create a website. It doesn't take much work and you don't have to have any coding experience to do this. So we have a builder that kind of walks you through the getting started process. Then you can customize it a little bit more in the following processes. The resource that we've included for you is going to go into this in much more detail, so we recommend that you check that out. Building a website just gives you an option to kind of extend your reach online, and people who might be checking out your church can get more information about you before they attend, just to kind of know who you are and what you're all about. So that is an option for you there. All right, these are just a few steps that we recommend in getting started. If you have any questions, our team is so happy to help. So feel free to reach out to our support team, and we will walk you through anything that you have questions about and just make you really successful in Aplos. Thanks so much and have a great day.